Hi there, Simon from simonwoods.com. This is my second lot of those 8 wines that refuse to be pigeonholed, and even these 4. There's a similarity between 2 of them, but they're from opposite sides of the world. They're 5 vintages apart, and there's 1.5 degrees alcohol difference between them. Hey, what is a wine chap? Sorry, there's somebody already called the wine chap. What is a chap supposed to do? I think I should just get on with them. First one, we are on Soave, Passo Avanti, Soave from Cantina di Monteforte. And you will notice it has a... if it didn't have this on, it could be called a Soave Classico. So in other words, you put something in something with a seal on that is different from a cork, and it can't be Soave Classico. What's that like? It's like you can't call something a prime rib of beef unless it is wrapped in special cellophane. You can just be called a rib of beef. Doesn't quite make sense to me, but obviously it makes sense to those wonderful Italian authorities who come up with these rules. Hey, anyway, let's just get on with the wine. 2009, I think, was it? Yes, 2009. Oh, I can't remember the last time I had a toffee apple, but there's just something about this character here that really reminds me of that. There's that sweetness of the toffee. It doesn't smell like it's going to be a sweet wine, but just that sweet smell touching that red apple flesh. And it smells like it's going to be quite an intriguing nutty wine. Maybe a bit of those quite not over-the-top tropical fruits. There's some things that need heat, but not excess heat. So maybe on the apricot meets peach, maybe nectarine, that type of character. It smells good. It's got this rounded, honeyed character mixed with nice nuttiness, and then it's got this fresh finish with a touch of mineral coming through. Life beyond fruit, in a really tasty wine. I can't remember how much it is, but I mean, if you haven't discovered proper Soave, this is a really nice place to start. It's got that mixture of richness, freshness, and nuttiness, and it tastes of a place rather than just a great variety and a set of processes. I like that a lot. Let's see whether I like the next one, which is Sainsbury's Taste the Difference Fairtrade Chenin Blanc. Fairtrade, as opposed to the other exploitative wines that I've got here, from Wellington, which is just above Paarl in South Africa. My South African geography is not what it could be. Let's see whether my wine tasting ability is what it could be. Well, this is a bracing youngster from the smell of it. It's got quite bouncy, vibrant fruit, and it's fruit. It's almost like in 2 spectrums. There's a ripe citrus, so you get stuff like oranges and very, very ripe lemons, and then there's a more exotic thing that's going into the pawpaw, the guava, that type of character. And there's this it's like edge of honey. Honey is something I associate with coming through with Chenin Blanc with a bit of age, but this is only a year old and smells like it's going to be pretty nice. Can't really complain about it. It's got this nice mix of richness and freshness, but if I do have a problem with it, there's it's nice. It doesn't really have for me the extra mile. I mean, Chenin Blanc for me needs to have a little bit of either the that's like bracing minerality that you get in a Loire wine, and maybe we'll get that in the next one, which is from the Loire, or something even more exotic. This seems to fall between 2 stools. It's a sort of wine that no one would refuse a second glass of, but I don't know how many people would rush out and say, well, what was that? We've got to try it again. So tasty, but could be a bit more interesting, but £8. Can't complain at that price. So, next one. So this is where hopefully we go a bit bonkers. Fleur Blanc from Jean-François Millia in Vouvray, so it's about twice the price. 1.5 degrees less alcohol than here, but 4.5 years older. So 2005 vintage. And honestly, you open bottles like this and you think, is it going to be dry, is it going to be sweet, is it going to be whatever? I imagine 12%, it might be medium. Let's have a sniff. And completely different beast. Same grape, but just completely different here. This has got what I call a dry burnt sugar character to it. It smells like you know the way in which brown sugar smells different from regular Tate and Lyle white sugar. This smells like it's got it's got that edge of dry caramel, so a slightly burnt character, but bruised apples as well. And this earthy, some people say lacy. I don't go around sniffing people's petticoats. I know that there are people who do, but I assure you, I'm not one of them. But it smells far more interesting than the one before. It smells like there's much more going on, and it also smells like one of those wines that if you serve it to some people, some of them will love it and some of them will go ugh, and will prefer the other one. But hey, that's why we have different wines to different people. Oh, that's really tasty. What's good about it? And I probably waffle on about this too much. Richness and freshness. My mouth knows that it's had something that was rich and honest and tasty. It's got this, what I was saying before about that smell of burnt sugar. It's got this core of almost like toffee, caramel, but it's bone dry. And then round it, it's got this quite succulent apple, so green apple and citrus, but also if you do apple charlotte, not really tart tatin, where maybe things caramelise that bit too much, but chop some apples, some bramleys, put a sponge on top, and then cook it. And that mix of when the cake mix has not quite solidified, and you get this ever so slightly eggy, spongy character. That's what I get here. Slightly undercooked apple charlotte. Very tasty, minerals, earthiness, and just goes on and on. And I mean, completely different. It's hard to believe these two are the same grape variety, but nice contrast. I know which I prefer, but I know that some people, that will be just a bit too ugh. Let's see whether the last one's a bit ugh. It's Yali. Yali Viognier, National Reserve, $7.99, 2010 vintage. From, whereabout? Colchagua. The Vouvray was, I couldn't work out where to put it. It's the lowest alcohol, but it's the oldest wine, and just from the smell of this, it smells like it was also the most distinctive wine. The Yali, I stick my nose in there, and it smells of lemon jelly cubes. I can't remember the last time I had a lemon jelly cube, but there's a really strong character of that here. It smells like a Viognier that was maybe, it feels like two things. Maybe they could have pushed it a bit further in order to get that really succulent, heady, wobbly-kneed Viognier. They haven't quite done that, but it also smells like they haven't quite. They haven't done like a young, fresh style. Picked it early. It feels like it's halfway between the two. I may be wrong. Yeah, I just find that slightly too much on that jelly side. It's okay, but for me it's not Viognier enough. It's got that slight peachiness, but it hasn't got that heady nuttiness, that apricot kernel character that I want in a wine like that. But hey, I like the Vouvray and the Soave in these two. I think they're terrific, and the Yali's okay. The Chenin, the taste the difference. Chenin's a bit better, but the other two just stand out above them. See you soon.